Is it just aging or is it dementia? The difference isn't always obvious, but missing the early warning signs could mean catching it too late. Dementia doesn't just show up overnight. It starts with 12 subtle signs most people ignore, and when it progresses, 14 symptoms take hold, affecting thinking, behavior, and independence. Recognizing these early signs could mean the difference between early intervention and missed opportunities. Are you ready to explore? Early sign 1. Changes in personality or behavior. Have you noticed yourself or a loved one acting differently? Maybe there's a sudden increase in irritability, anxiety, or depression in someone who was once a happy person. A 2024 study found that personality shifts often appear before memory loss in dementia patients. You might find yourself withdrawing from conversations, reacting emotionally to small frustrations, or losing interest in things you once cared about. These behavioral changes aren't just mood swings. They could signal underlying cognitive decline. If these shifts seem persistent, it's time to pay closer attention. Early sign 2. Noticing subtle shifts in perception. Does the world around you feel different? Colors may seem duller, familiar scents harder to detect, or foods taste unusual. Dementia can alter sensory perception, making sights, sounds, and tastes feel distorted. You might struggle to distinguish similar sounds, feel less aware of depth, or experience visual misinterpretations. Another overlooked sign is increased sensitivity to noise and overstimulation. A 2023 study found that cognitive decline can make busy environments overwhelming. You may struggle to follow conversations in noisy places, find background sounds distracting, or feel drained after social gatherings. If everyday sensations seem more intense or confusing, your brain may be struggling to process sensory input, a possible early warning sign. Early sign 3. Difficulty with coordination, balance, and gait. Are you feeling clumsier than usual or struggling with tasks that require precise movement? Dementia can subtly affect both fine motor skills and overall movement, leading to unsteady hands, poor balance, and noticeable changes in gait, the way you walk. You may find yourself dropping objects, struggling to button shirts, or experiencing shaky hands when performing simple tasks. A study in neurology found that people in early cognitive decline may shuffle their feet, take shorter steps, or appear stiff when walking, classic signs of gait disturbances. Some develop a stooped posture, making them more prone to falls. These physical changes are often dismissed as normal aging, but they could be early indicators of brain function decline. Early sign 4. Difficulty following TV shows or movies. Is keeping up with a storyline becoming a challenge? Maybe you frequently rewind, forget character names, or lose track of plot details. Dementia affects attention, working memory, and comprehension, making it harder to engage with complex narratives. A 2023 study in JAMA Neurology found that trouble processing media can be an early sign of cognitive decline. Some people find themselves watching the same scenes repeatedly, struggling to remember key events, or losing interest in entertainment altogether. If following conversations in real life also feels more difficult, it may be time to take note of these changes. Early sign 5. Struggling with technology. Early dementia can make adapting to new technology frustrating, leading to struggles with phones, computers, or even simple remote controls. Studies show that people with cognitive impairment may forget passwords, struggle to navigate familiar apps, or avoid using technology altogether. Some people stop checking their emails, lose track of how to operate their phones, or frequently call others for help with simple tech-related tasks. If previously simple digital interactions now feel overwhelming, it could be an early sign that your ability to process new information is declining. Early sign 6, decreased sense of direction. Are you finding it harder to navigate familiar places? A 2023 study found that spatial disorientation is one of the first signs of dementia. You might take wrong turns while driving, struggle to follow maps, or feel lost in once familiar environments. It's not just occasional forgetfulness, it's the brain losing its ability to process and remember spatial information. People report missing familiar landmarks, getting confused in well-known stores, or even struggling to retrace their steps. If navigation and spatial awareness are becoming increasingly difficult, it's a sign that shouldn't be ignored. Early sign 7, word-finding difficulties. Do you often pause mid-sentence, searching for simple words? Persistent difficulty retrieving words is linked to early dementia, according to researchers. You might describe objects in roundabout ways, the thing you sit on instead of chair, or substitute incorrect words. Some people start avoiding conversations because they feel frustrated or embarrassed by their inability to find the right words. While occasional lapses in word recall are normal, frequent struggles with language could indicate deeper cognitive changes. Over time, this can lead to shorter, less complex speech patterns as the brain struggles to retrieve and organize language efficiently. Early sign 8, impaired judgment or decision-making. Are simple decisions becoming overwhelming? Struggling to assess risks, make financial choices, or follow logical steps can indicate cognitive decline. A 2022 study found that impaired judgment often appears before memory loss. People may dress inappropriately for the weather, fall for scams, or mismanage money. Some people make impulsive purchases, struggle to plan daily activities, or become more easily influenced by others. If decision-making feels more confusing or risky than before, it's worth seeking professional advice. Over time, this decline in judgment can lead to increasing dependence on others for even the most basic daily decisions. Early sign 9, difficulty completing familiar tasks. Are routine activities suddenly confusing? Dementia can affect memory, problem solving, and sequencing, making once easy tasks harder. You may forget how to operate household appliances, struggle to follow recipes, or mix up daily steps in getting dressed. Some people experience frustration with simple routines, such as making coffee or using the washing machine. Research from 2023 links increasing difficulty with everyday tasks to early cognitive decline. If daily routines feel more frustrating than usual, it may be time to investigate further. Over time, these struggles can lead to a loss of independence, making even basic self-care feel overwhelming. Early sign 10, changes in driving habits. Are you feeling more anxious or disoriented behind the wheel? Driving requires multitasking, quick decision-making, and spatial awareness, all of which decline in early dementia. A 2022 study found that increased traffic violations, hesitation at intersections, and getting lost are linked to cognitive impairment. Some people become reluctant to drive at night, forget basic road rules, or feel overwhelmed in heavy traffic. They may also find it harder to judge distances, react to sudden changes, or remember familiar routes, increasing the risk of accidents. If driving has become much more difficult or stressful, consider a cognitive evaluation. Early sign 11, loss of interest and engagement in activities. Have you lost motivation for hobbies and social activities? Early dementia often leads to withdrawal from favorite pastimes, even when physically able to participate. Studies in neurology show that reduced engagement in social and leisure activities is one of the earliest behavioral shifts in cognitive decline. Some people stop going to clubs, cancel social plans frequently, or abandon lifelong interests without explanation. They may also show less enthusiasm when invited to events or seem indifferent to once enjoyed activities. Over time, This withdrawal can lead to increased isolation, which further accelerates cognitive decline. Early sign 12, misplacing items more frequently. Do everyday items seem to disappear more often? Occasionally losing things is normal, but frequently placing objects in odd locations, like putting keys in the fridge or shoes in the wrong closet, can be a warning sign. Some people become paranoid, believing others are stealing their misplaced belongings. A 2024 study found that chronic misplacement of objects is an early sign of dementia. This happens because the brain struggles with spatial awareness and short-term memory, making it harder to recall where things were placed. Over time, the frustration of losing important items can lead to anxiety, confusion, and increased reliance on others for daily tasks. You've just seen 12 early warning signs, subtle red flags that dementia might be developing. But what happens when it moves beyond the early stages? That's where the 14 dementia symptoms come in. These are the unmistakable indicators that cognitive decline is already in motion, affecting thinking, behavior, and daily life in ways that can't be ignored. Some may seem obvious, while others are surprisingly overlooked. Let's break them down. Symptoms 1. Hallucinations or delusions. Are you or a loved one seeing or hearing things that aren't there? Hallucinations, false sensory perceptions, and delusions, false beliefs, are common in mid to late stage dementia. Someone may insist they see strangers in their home, hear voices, or believe a loved one is an imposter. These symptoms often stem from damage to the brain's perception and reasoning centers, making it hard to distinguish reality from imagination. A 2023 study linked visual hallucinations in dementia patients to damage in the occipital lobe, the brain's processing hub for sight. If hallucinations or paranoid delusions become persistent, medical intervention may be needed. Symptoms 2. Sundowning syndrome. Does confusion or agitation worsen as evening approaches? Sundowning is a pattern of increased anxiety, restlessness, and confusion in the late afternoon or evening. People with dementia may pace, become irritable, or insist on going home even if they are already there. Experts believe this occurs due to disruptions in the brain's circadian rhythm, leading to difficulty regulating sleep-wake cycles, bright light exposure during the day, and maintaining a structured routine can sometimes help minimize sundowning symptoms. Symptoms 3. Unusual behavior and social inappropriateness. Have you noticed a loved one behaving in ways they never would before? Dementia can weaken impulse control, making people act in socially inappropriate ways. They may blurt out rude comments, make inappropriate jokes, or invade personal space without realizing it. Some lose their sense of modesty or develop compulsive behaviors, such as excessive shopping, gambling, or repetitive speech. These changes result from the brain's declining ability to regulate behavior and emotions, often caused by frontal lobe degeneration. Symptoms 4. Agitation and aggression. Are episodes of anger or frustration becoming more common? Dementia often causes agitation, irritability, and even physical aggression. A calm and friendly person may suddenly become verbally abusive or lash out physically, often without provocation. This happens because dementia affects the brain's emotional regulation, impulse control, and ability to process situations logically. Fear, confusion, or unmet needs, such as hunger, discomfort, or boredom, can also trigger these outbursts. Understanding the underlying cause can help manage aggression effectively. Symptoms 5. Developing incontinence issues. Is there a loss of control over bladder or bowel functions? As dementia progresses, the brain loses its ability to send clear signals to the body, leading to incontinence. Some people forget the urge to use the bathroom, while others struggle to locate it in time. Damage to the brain's motor control areas can also make it difficult to remove clothing quickly enough. Incontinence can cause embarrassment and distress, but maintaining a consistent bathroom schedule and providing easy access to facilities can help. Symptom 6. Changes in visual perception. Do objects, distances, or faces appear distorted or confusing? Dementia can alter the way the brain interprets visual information, leading to depth perception issues, difficulty recognizing faces, or trouble distinguishing between similar colors. Someone may mistake a shadow for a hole, struggle to judge distances when reaching for objects, or have difficulty reading text. A 2005 study linked these issues to damage in the occipital and temporal lobes. This can contribute to falls, accidents, and even hallucinations. Symptom 7. Disorientation in time and space. Is there increasing confusion about where or when things are happening? Dementia disrupts the brain's ability to track time, locations, and even seasons. Someone may forget what day or year it is, believe they are in a past decade, or think deceased loved ones are still alive. They may also wander aimlessly, unable to remember where they were going. This disorientation can lead to distress and dangerous situations, such as getting lost even in familiar surroundings. In some cases, individuals may wake up in the middle of the night convinced it is daytime, further adding to their confusion and disrupting their daily routines. Symptoms 8. Difficulty with coordination and movement. Is walking, sitting, or grasping objects becoming more difficult? Dementia can weaken coordination, balance, and motor function, leading to an unsteady gait, difficulty using utensils, and frequent falls. A study in neurology found that some types of dementia, such as Lewy body dementia, cause Parkinson's-like movement issues, including muscle stiffness and tremors. Simple activities, like tying shoelaces or getting up from a chair, may suddenly seem complex or impossible. As the condition progresses, muscle weakness and slowed movements can make even basic mobility tasks challenging, leading to a higher risk of dependency on caregivers. Symptoms 9. Loss of interest in personal hygiene. Has showering, brushing teeth, or changing clothes become neglected? Dementia affects motivation, awareness, and memory, causing some individuals to stop maintaining basic hygiene. They may forget how to bathe, no longer recognize the importance of grooming, or resist help out of embarrassment. Some develop a strong fear of water or become overwhelmed by the steps involved in self-care. Regular reminders, routines, and gentle encouragement can help maintain hygiene. Left unaddressed, poor hygiene can lead to infections, skin issues, and a decline in overall health, making early intervention crucial. Symptoms 10. Apathy, social withdrawal, and isolation. Is there a growing loss of interest in activities and socializing? Dementia often leads to apathy, a state of emotional flatness where a person no longer feels motivated to engage. Someone who once loved family gatherings may prefer sitting alone for hours, disengaged from conversation. They may stop making eye contact, responding to jokes, or even recognizing emotional cues from others. This lack of engagement isn't just depression. It's a direct symptom of brain decline. Over time, this withdrawal can lead to a complete disconnection from loved ones, making it difficult for family members to maintain meaningful interactions. Symptoms 11. Changes in sleep patterns. Has sleep become restless or unpredictable? Dementia can cause irregular sleep cycles, daytime drowsiness, and nighttime wakefulness. Some individuals experience frequent napping, insomnia, or even nighttime wandering. The brain's internal body clock, circadian rhythm, is disrupted, leading to confusion about day and night. Melatonin supplements or maintaining a structured routine may help regulate sleep. Left untreated, these sleep disturbances can lead to increased agitation, exhaustion, and a higher risk of falls or accidents. Symptoms 12. Difficulty with problem solving and judgment. Are once simple decisions now overwhelming? Dementia affects logical thinking and risk assessment. Someone may dress inappropriately for the weather, struggle to plan meals, or fall for scams easily. This loss of judgment makes everyday choices difficult and dangerous. Financial decisions may also become risky, with some individuals giving away large sums of money or failing to pay essential bills. Over time, even basic choices, like what to eat or when to take medication, can become confusing, increasing the risk of malnutrition or mistreatments. Symptoms 13. Difficulty communicating and following conversations. Are conversations becoming fragmented? Dementia affects speech and comprehension, causing word-finding difficulties, repetitive speech, and loss of train of thought. Some may pause mid-sentence, struggle to understand instructions, or use vague language like thing instead of specific words. Over time, sentences may become shorter and less complex as the brain struggles to organize thoughts. In later stages, individuals may lose the ability to follow conversations entirely, responding with unrelated words or becoming silent altogether. Symptoms 14. Asking the same questions repeatedly. If the same question being asked minutes apart, dementia damages short-term memory, causing individuals to repeat themselves frequently. They may forget they just had a conversation, repeatedly ask about meal times, or lose track of what they were just doing. This repetition isn't intentional. It's because the brain struggles to retain new information, making every moment feel like the first time they're asking. Over time, this can lead to frustration for both the individual and their caregivers, requiring patience and gentle redirection to manage the behavior. Dementia doesn't appear overnight. It starts with subtle changes that slowly take hold. Today, we've uncovered 12 early signs that can serve as warning signals and 14 symptoms that indicate dementia has progressed beyond the early stages. The more you understand these shifts, the better prepared you'll be to recognize them in yourself or a loved one. But knowledge alone isn't enough. Taking action is key. If you've noticed any of these signs, don't wait for them to worsen. Early detection can make a world of difference in managing symptoms, slowing progression, and improving quality of life. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay proactive about brain health.
And there you have it. What are your thoughts? Next, dive into this video for more essential tips to transform your health and help you thrive. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching Healthy End, and we'll see you there.